Alright guys, well, as promised, I'm going to do the Altoids 10 Survival Challenge today here at my second home. And here it is right here. Now the only thing you will see me use is what's in this kit. I have nothing in my pockets. I don't have any fixed blades on me, no pocket knives, no backpacks, no H2O kits, no survival bags of any kind, just strictly what is in this kit. So, we'll get you guys on down to my camp and we'll get started. Alright guys, real quick, the reason why I am doing this challenge again, because if you've seen my channel, or if you're a subscriber to my channel and you've seen the video Altoids 10 Survival Challenge from, I think it was a year ago I did that video, I used things outside of the kit. I had a H2O bag with me and I used extra gear outside of the kit, and I even brought firewood that I processed off my homestead. And I had some people say that's not really a challenge though, because you're using extra gear outside of that. And I went back and I watched it, and you know what, right. So today we're sticking strictly just what's in the kit today. That's all I'm using. I'm not going to use any extra fixed blades, no containers of any sources. I'm just going to stick strictly to what's in my kit. And it is really, really windy out here today. So if you hear wind in the camera, it's because the wind level today is really, really high today. I don't know the forecast for today. We don't have any rain today, so it's supposed to be a beautiful day today. But I'm doing strictly what is in my kit today for the Altoids 10 challenge. And today is Thursday as you're watching this, and I will try to have this video up before night. I don't know how long I'm going to be out here for. It depends on how long I choose. I can spend hours in the woods. It's a second home to me. But anyways, I'll link up with you guys when I get to my first resource area, because the first thing we're going to get is some water. That's looking good. We don't need a lot though. We're just using some for a small demonstration. So, got a condom water here so I can prevent it from spilling it. Now, I'm going to take these disinfectant tablets that I have here in my kit, and I'm going to drop them in there. We got one, and I've got the second one right here. I can just get the thing open without breaking it. Got to be careful though, because condoms are really brittle. Doesn't take a whole lot to break them. So, I get it in there? I think I just dropped it up here on the ground. Get it, there you are. Dropped her on the ground, but she's okay. Go ahead and drop that second bad boy in there. Now, we'll wait about 30 minutes and she should be good to go. Alright, as you can see me, but it's now time to get a fire going. So I'm going to get into my kit here and I'm going to get a few items out. I'm going to get out my fire starting disc that I got here. I'm just going to fluff it up a little bit. This is made out of paraffin wax, canola cooking oil, and the disc itself is one of those makeup removal discs. I'm just going to set that right in here. I'm going to get, now I do have a lighter in here, but I decided to go ahead and just use one of my matches. So I've got a match here. I'm going to get the lid from my Altoids 10 so I didn't take it off. So I'm going to put that back on. I have a strike pad on the bottom of the tin that I'm going to use. So see if we can get us on the first strike. There we go. And see if we can get a fire going with this. It is windy out here, so I have to be careful because everything out here is really dry, and I don't want to run the risk of causing a forest fire. So always make sure, kids, practice safety first. So now I'm going to start throwing some of this smaller kindling on. So you really build it up. I had to be careful. A lot of the stuff out here that was ground up earlier when I was finding tinder was still green. So luckily there was a bunch of dry willow trees over here, and I was able to gather some of the bark in this area. Okay, let that build up for a second. In the meantime, Go ahead and put this stuff back in the kit. I'm actually going to keep the knife out because I'm going to be using it here shortly for utility purposes. Put the lid back on the Altoids tin. And I'm also going to show you how to get a fire going using a Ranger band. So right now we have an actual fire going, so we'll let that build up. Some of this stuff, we'll save it. This stuff actually right here can be converted into a tinder bundle if you need to. So, here we go. Alright, and I think that's pretty much this demonstration has pretty much explained itself. With the Altoids 10, we were successfully able to gather both water and fire so far. So let's move on. To other tasks now. All right. While fire burns down now, I want to show you guys another quick trick. I'm going to show you how I could turn this knife into a net carry. So as you can see earlier in the video, well before the video, I actually made a paracord handle out of the paracord I showed. I'm going to undo that paracord now. Right here on camera to show you. So I didn't really do a good job. It was kind of a hurry job. I actually do know how to make paracord handles for knives, but this is just for demonstration. So what I would do, put it back in. And now the paracord is actually long enough to actually make a necklace out of. See, it does go around my neck. So what I would do is I would run the paracord through here. This little loop right here. Make sure it's, there we go. Kind of have to, I use the knife itself to kind of open it up a little bit because it is a little bit tight. Just checking on the fire. Fire is still burning. So we run the paracord through here. Almost got it through. There you are. Where are you at? I feel like, oh, there she is. Oh, the knife fell out of the sheath, but that's okay. We'll pick it up here in a second. And oops, almost got her. It's tight. It is tight, but it will work. And there we go. I was able to see, got it through, just like that. And take the knife that I dropped on the ground here, run it through the sheath, and oops, I gotta tie it first. And oops, get things staying. And also for extra protection here, let me step off camera for a second. You can even use the Ranger band that I had on the kit to strap onto your knife if you want to hold it on. So what I would do is I take the Ranger band, I'd run it through one end of the sheath, avoiding the lanyard, of course, and strapping it onto the sheath itself, pulling the cordage through. And this is how I do it. You guys can do it how you want, but this is how I would do it. And I would just run it through here, tucking the lanyard under it to hold it in place. And there you go. It doesn't got to be perfect. As long as it holds the knife in place, you're good to go. Moving it through the sheath. And there you go. And so that's how you fashion a quick little neck knife if you wanted to. I'm not going to tie it, I'm just going to show you. But yeah, in case you want a little neck knife, there you go. All right, now for another quick fire demonstration. While I have my main fire going, I'm going to show you how to get a fire going using this Ranger band. So what you can do is you can take a little bit of it off, or you can choose to cut the whole thing down the middle, which I'm going to do. So just cut the whole thing without losing it, of course. Cut it into fine little pieces like this. There you go. And then you can, in this case, we'll use my Bic lighter here. Light the Ranger band on fire. It is a little bit windy out here, so if I can do it up here in front of the camera though. And, oh, almost. Wind put it out. Nope, dang it. Wind keeps putting it out, so I think we'll switch over to the matches real fast. So let me put the lid on real quick. There we go. Almost got her. There she goes. And there you go. And you can add a little piece on to help extend it. Oh, the wind. Oh, not the wind. Oh, The wind wants to, here, I'll try to guard it. The wind wants to put it out. It is really windy out here. So, and there you go. I'll bring the camera down a little closer. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try to bring it closer so you guys can see, but as you can see, you can get a fire going using a Ranger band. They are highly flammable, and I do recommend you use a Ranger band. If you have a Ranger band at your disposal and you have nothing else to use for fire tinder, I highly recommend using your Ranger band. Sure, you may sacrifice your security system, system for your Altoids tin for it, but the way I look at it, the more gear you use in your tin, the easier it'll close. So that's how you get a fire going using a Ranger band. Alrighty, well in the meantime, let's check on our condom water here. It's been 30 minutes now, so she looks pretty good. Now, as you can see, it's pretty good and clear. So normally I would untie her, but I don't want to run the risk of breaking it. So in this case, I'm going to go over here and get my little utility knife. And I'm going to kind of very gently now, without breaking it, very gently, I'm going to cut the end off right here. I'm just going to do little saw motions right here. Just allow the blade to allow the blade to scrape, to rub very easy on that condom. There we go. Perfect. And there we go. Alrighty, well let's try us. All right, here we go. Let's try us some condom water. Oops, let me get a disinfected. Pretty good. So, in case you ever need to, you do have the ability to store water inside a condom. Nothing like some good condom water out here in the woods. All right, now let's talk first aid here, because while I was watching my last video that I just filmed, I actually was attending to my fire and I actually hurt myself. So I'm gonna come in here. I got some first aid stuff in here. I have a anesthetic towel wipe in here, which could also double as a fire starter too. I also have some bacterial ointment too that could also double as a fire starter. And I have a small band-aid here. So this is my first aid here, and I'm actually going to go ahead and use it because, like I said, I did hurt myself a minute ago while I was attending to my fire. So first thing is we're going to throw all our trash in the fire. So I'll take this and I'm going to just wipe it on here on my fingers. Throw it in the fire because it is highly flammable. It will burn. Take some of this bacterial ointment here. There's not a whole lot in here. It's just a small little baggie. So, and that should be enough. Rub it on my hands. And like I said, this stuff has Vaseline in it, so this stuff can double as a fire starter. So just rub that on my hands here. Rub the excess on my pants because I'll hurt myself. Now I can get in here and get a Band-Aid out. I only have just one Band-Aid in here. I see a lot of Altoids kits. Some people carry 2, some carry 3. I guess it depends on the environment. Some people keep their Altoids tins like very fire heavy, first aid heavy. Mine is actually fire heavy. Mine focus on mostly on fire, water, and navigation. So as you can see, got my little first aid kit here. And also, if I wanted to, if I did actually lacerate myself really good, I could take this super glue and I could actually use this to close up my wound. I wouldn't recommend that because you do run the risk of getting an infection using super glue, but you could use super glue for first aid purposes and also fire tinder too, because this stuff is also highly flammable. And so that's how with this Altoids kit, how it would affect first aid out here in the fields. All right, so now I got you guys down here at the water because I'm going to show you guys another trick within my Altoids 10 survival kit. I'm going to show you guys how to land navigate without using a compass. A lot of these Altoids 10 survival kit videos that I've watched, they have little button compasses in there, but I don't trust button compasses because most times they're inaccurate. I do have a full-on expensive, like high-tech compass, but I don't have it with me in the field today because you can't fit that into an Altoids 10, so you got to get something smaller. So I'm going to show you guys how to make a compass in the field using 3 things: a pool of water, a leaf, and a sewing needle. So first thing I want to do is I want to take the sewing needle and I want to rub it right here on my head to get it magnetic. So I'm going to rub that needle right here on my head, and by doing this, it'll make the needle magnetize, and it will automatically point to the north setting of the Earth. So she should be good and magnetized now. So I'm going to take my leaf here, I'm going to set it in the water, and I'm going to take the needle, and I'm going to set that on the leaf, and that should now go, and that should point to the, and that should automatically start pointing to the to north. There you go. She's turning. I had to move that rock out of my way. Let me position. Actually, there we go. Okay, I'm not touching the leaf. I was touching the water. I was making sure that rock wasn't poking through. As you can see, she is turning very slow. I don't know if you can see that. I'll adjust the camera so you guys can see. But as you can see, she is turning by herself. I'm not touching it. The reason why I had my fingers in the water a minute ago was because I was trying to keep the leaf from smacking into that rock right there. But as you can see, she is turning, and there she goes. She's turning, 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 and there she goes. She is facing north, and that way behind, and that way to the side of me is north. So she is facing north right now, and she stopped moving. The wind's moving around, but she is facing north. So that is one way you can land navigate if you don't have a compass, using a leaf, a sewing needle, and a pool of water. Alrighty, so I feel like this video would not be complete if I didn't show you guys another demonstration on how you can get a fire going. And this time I'm going to use the super glue. So I'm gonna open up my super glue here. Take it off take the lid off. I'm gonna pour a little bit out here onto this rock. Just enough for a demonstration, so it's got a good pool right there. That should be enough. Go ahead and put the lid back. I'm gonna put the lid back on the super glue now, because we don't need a whole bunch, just a small demonstration. And now I would use my lighter to get this, but actually I might go ahead and just use it now because it's not as windy. So now she's still windy, so we're gonna have to go back, folks, and we're gonna have to use the old matches again. So, I don't know if you can see me, I got smoke blowing in my eyes, so. And there you go. I don't know if you can see that, but it just shows that you can get a fire going using super glue. And so, as you know, my kit actually, you notice it is pretty fire heavy. I had a lot of ways in here to get a fire going. So, I'll show you guys the contents of my kit. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put this fire out, and I'm gonna go ahead and hike out of here. Alrighty, so that was the Altoids 10 Survival Kit, say 2.0, because like I said, the first one I did, I kind of cheated when I used a bunch of gear outside of the kit. This time, we strictly used what was in the kit. Now, if you're wondering, I didn't use any of the fishing gear in my kit, is because the area that I'm in, we don't really have a whole lot of fish in this area. I'm on a small little creek bed here, and there's not really a whole lot of fish. So I didn't really dive into the fishing kit, but I actually have used smaller fishing kits before when I've been out. So this kit mostly was just to show what you could do if you want to stay hydrated and you need to get a fire going. Notice that my kit was pretty fire heavy. I had multiple ways of getting a fire going. I had a way of land navigation if I needed to. So I was going to say land navigation ways by using a pool of water, a needle, and a leaf. I also had ways to, I also had some utility purposes. A lot of guys use like little fixed blades, or they use like multi-tools, but I figured but I found this knife that I had, so I'm like, you know what, I'll throw that in the kit and we'll use that. And as you can see, that was my main cutting tool. I didn't use any saws, I didn't use any axes. I strictly used what was in the kit. I even broke all the branches myself for my fire by my hands, which is not really awkward. I've done it before, but you know, usually when I come out here, I have my big folding saw with me. But today we just had what was in the kit, the Altoids kit. I mean, so yeah, that was the Altoids kit, 10 Survival Kit 2.0. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hike out of here, and I will try to have this. I'll go home, try to have this video up to you guys by tonight. So thanks for watching. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. Hit the like. Leave a comment down below. It helps out my channel a lot, and I'll see you guys. I'll try to get you guys on the video as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.